for that song. Some of us are broke out here. Jimmy Kimmel has officially been put on leave indefinitely for the Jimmy Kimmel live show, all due to the fact that Jimmy Kimmel apparently refuses to apologize for his comments. Now, what were some of his comments? Here's the full video in full context, because that's what we're all about here, is having context with a little bit of side of green salad. Because we're all a little healthier around here. What's up, Inner Castle? Okay, full context of the video. Take it away, Jimmy Kimmel.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This
was all a hilarious joke, especially at the beginning portion where he just completely lied about who the shooter was. Hey, he's a comedian doing comedian things. You guys just didn't get it. He's allowed to lie about things. So this is the joke that everyone's calling a joke?
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and
You're fired. Yeah, I said it. And it all boils down to Jimmy Kimmel refusing to actually apologize. When asked, the source said that Kimmel was not planning to apologize. He felt like what he said didn't require an apology. Oh, so here's the thing for me. Jimmy Kimmel is trying to be the new martyr. The left has spent the entire week no longer being the victim. They enjoy being the victim. They are the victim. That's the category and the place they find the most comfort. We're victims. Donald Trump is literally Hitler. Donald Trump is the fascist dictator, and he's taking over the airwaves, and he's a horrible human being. We need to do something about him, blah, 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 blah. And now they feel like they can finally get back into this mold of being the victim again, as opposed to being seen as violent people who need to be dealt with because of their violence and due to the horrible assassination that happened just last week. And they're already back to, oh, now we're the victims. I told you, Donald Trump is trying to take over everything. This is not a freedom of speech thing. If I hear one more idiot text me like, Derek, what do you think about us and we don't want to be seen as hypocrites now. We don't want to be seen as hypocrites because we're proponents of freedom of speech. We're proponents. He's not going to jail. See, I can do it too, Jimmy Kimmel. I can have a fake audience. He's not going to jail. He can start a podcast. He can learn to code. Stupid audience noise. You're going to be just fine, Jimmy. You and your millions can start a podcast. I don't know, start one on Rumble. Start your Blue Sky account now. You're going to be just fine. You're not going to jail. This isn't a First Amendment thing. This is a company deciding, how do we get rid of this idiot? And, you gave us a reason to get rid of you. See, there's been reports everywhere saying that Jimmy Kimmel's ratings are actually tanking and consistently tanking. They just recently got rid of Stephen Colbert not too long ago due to his poor rankings, and Jimmy Kimmel was ranked as number 2. That's a poop joke. Thank you very much. But he was ranked as number 2, so you can only imagine what the ratings were looking like when you're paying these guys multimillionaires and having an entire writing team to produce this crappy show. The jokes aren't funny, you're not funny, and to call you a comedian is a disgrace to all comedians like Amy Schumer. Thank you very much. You guys don't have to do that. It really means a lot to me. Stop, it's embarrassing. Stop, it's embarrassing. So if somebody comes to me and says this is a First Amendment to you, that would be actually crazy to even say. If somebody actually wants something to, oh, hello, I'm back. It's me, Colin Malone. It's me, blackface Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, I'm back. Hey, Carl Malone, what's up, man? Carl Malone just want to say something. Jimmy Kimmel, you, man. Okay, man. Stop it. Carl Malone has something to say. Okay, say it, man. When Carl Malone think about Jimmy Kimmel being found, Carl Malone get excited in all the wrong areas of his body.
I'm gonna come.
Oh. That's disgusting, man. That's disgusting. So he refuses to apologize. And my guess, me thinksies, that Jimmy Kimmel will probably be back just last week. Now, on this show today, we're going to go through all of the reactions from Jimmy Kimmel and his fandom and his reported fandom. It's funny when people don't actually care about somebody, and then when something like this happens, they see it as a way to score political points, because that's all the Democrats literally care about is political points. And so they are going out everywhere and having their little crying speeches and saying this is a First Amendment issue, and Jimmy Kimmel is an icon. I've seen him being compared to Thomas Paine. What are you talking about? The reaction of Jimmy Kimmel is being fired. Jimmy Kimmel, you can literally still go out and go to comedy clubs and do your comedy routine that you don't have without your 100 million writers. You're allowed to continue to speak. You're just fired from your job for being a horrible human being during a very hard time for a lot of people and a confusing time. And saying that you were just making a joke saying MAGAs are shooting MAGAs, that's not a joke. That is you being disingenuous. And if I hear another comedian be disingenuous about this whole situation as much as Jimmy Kimmel will probably be during this whole time, let's just all take a trip down memory lane and remember when Jimmy Kimmel mocked and borderline celebrated Roseanne Barr, who is literally a real comedian. She literally is a real comedian that got famous off of her stand-up routine, not some douche like you that doesn't have a long backstory. And yes, I did watch The Man Show as a kid. But here's him mocking Roseanne Barr because, you know, we're supposed to celebrate when people get fired for the things that come out of their mouths. Right, Jimmy Kimmel?
On the subject of terrible things posted online, the biggest story of the day today was Roseanne. Okay. Roseanne, you know...
Are you going to say something that says, like, comedians should be able to say whatever they want, even if it's borderline offensive?
I'm not going to believe this, but she tweeted something outrageous.
Oh!
I know, yeah, right. The president did it too. It's crazy. Anyway, ABC decided to cancel their highest-rated show, Roseanne.
You would think a comedian would stand up for another comedian. Not this guy. So why would you stand up for him?
Following a tweet in which Roseanne compared an African-American woman, a former advisor to President Obama, to an ape, which did not sit well with ABC management or anyone with a brain, really. So they announced...
Okay, yeah, so maybe what you said on your monologue didn't sit well with management. No. You're a good guy. This is a cancellation of, and this is a First Amendment issue. And this is Donald Trump taking out comedians who are mocking him because of something he can't afford to be offended. Even though South Park took it way too far the other week, and they're still on air.
That this first season of the show is also its last, which is a huge blow to business. I mean, we don't have much on this network. We're hoping the NBA Finals goes 11 games this year. We're still airing America's Funniest Home Videos, okay? Roseanne was a very bigly hit for ABC, and we needed it. But I say, why just Listen, hear me out. Just because Roseanne is gone doesn't mean the whole show has to go. The show must go on. That's what we say in show business. And with that said, I have an idea that I think makes this work for everyone.
Okay, so he goes on to mock her, of course, and create a new fake show regarding her. And for those of you that are big Jimmy Kimmel fans, what's up, Swill? Those of you that are big Jimmy Kimmel fans, there is a school walkout today at 12 p.m. Dude, if there is one, this is a very funny tweet from Olivia. And she's the Democrat. Okay. She's the chick that was hired by Democrats to rein back in the male vote. She posted a picture saying free Jimmy Kimmel school walkout at 12 p.m. If kids literally walk out to Jimmy Kimmel, I will lose my mind. No children are watching Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know anybody that enjoys comedy in the slightest that like Jimmy Kimmel. What is Jimmy Kimmel's ratings? I know people that still watch Jimmy Fallon, and I know a bunch of like intellectuals like Stephen Colbert, but nobody is watching Jimmy Kimmel. Except for Guillermo. I am worried about him. They took my job. So Nexstar Media Group actually put out a whole statement regarding Jimmy Kimmel's offensive remarks, according to them, saying Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Kirk are offensive and insensitive at the critical time in our nation's political discourse, and we do not believe they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values the local communities in which we are located. God, this is the longest sentence. Said Andrew Alford, president of Nexstar's broadcasting division, continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time. We have made the very difficult decision to preempt his show in effort to let cooler heads prevail and move towards the resumption of respectful, constructive dialogue. God. If you write that long of run-on sentences, you should be deported. That's what I stand for on this show. So he refuses to apologize. So he's trying to make himself painted as some martyr. And I'm sure there's a bunch of liberal tards that are texting Jimmy Kimmel right now saying, whatever you can, man, don't apologize. And the longer you stay out, the more victim blaming we can have, and you can be seen as a martyr, and people will actually think you're funny again. So you know that's what's actually going on. So Jimmy Kimmel doesn't actually stand up for comedians that get canceled or let go of their show due to comments, whether poor or indecent in your eyes. So why would you stand up for him? He's getting exactly what he wants. This is the world in which they want. They want you to be held accountable. Remember leftards? I've heard this my whole life. Freedom of speech isn't freedom of consequences. Now, I've always been a person that thinks that you should be allowed to say whatever you want, and even if it's the most indecent thing, that's you. But that's my culture. That's my side of the aisle. That's not his side of the aisle. So he's living in which world in which he created. And I'm seeing all these like leftards online saying, we need to cancel Disney. We need to cancel Disney. We need to go up and not go to Disneyland anymore. Are you kidding me? You think all these Disney adults care that much about Jimmy Kimmel? No, they don't, dude. No, they don't. They don't care about Jimmy Kimmel. These people that go to Disney as adults at an elderly age, these people love Disney more than they love their own wives or husbands and their own children. In fact, they're probably still living through their children's worldview. These people are still going to go to Disney. What's up, Steven? So, and everybody right now on the left is blaming Benny Johnson for having the FCC chair on his show. And, but how does Donald Trump actually respond to the firing of Jimmy Kimmel? And he's currently in Britain. So you have to do it with the pinky up as you say it in Britain.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else. And
of course. And again, he was fired because he was bad ratings, but also because what he said was absolutely insane. And you're not allowed to say that. And that wasn't a freaking joke. Also, by the way, I've said this 100 times. I genuinely think all these leftards that are getting fired because of their comments about Charlie Kirk are not getting fired because of their comments of Charlie Kirk. I think a lot of these companies actually hate these individuals that work for their companies, and they haven't been figuring out a way to fire these people, and now they have an excuse in which to fire them. That is my conspiracy, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, here's Donald Trump on his opinion of Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Fired for lack of talent and lack of being a decent human being. Jimmy Simple. Yeah. Kimmy Fimma and Fimmy Jimmel. Jimmy, my love, my only love. And I love that there's all these leftards online that are just like, he's like a martyr. He's like a martyr. So people are pulling up old posts from people like Ilhan Omar. This is from Ilhan Omar, 3/18/22. Does freedom of speech protect you from freedom of speech? Wait, does the First Amendment protect your freedom of speech? Yes. Does it protect you from being shamed or shunned by others? No. Bottom line, your opinions have consequences, like everything in life. But not today. Jimmy Kimmel is literally the bastion of civilization, and we should all be supporting him, according to all these people. These unhinged takes are absolutely insane. Good morning. Trump tries his zinger to crush your soul. I know he does every time. But right now, if you go on CNN, you go on all these leftard platforms and stuff like that, they're all blaming Benny Johnson for talking to the FCC chair. But apparently the FCC chair was going to go after Jimmy Kimmel anyways. But again, his ratings suck. Nobody's watching his television show. He's being paid multi-millions to write these quote-unquote jokes. ABC had to offer a retraction for the lie in which Jimmy Kimmel said. God, the left is like constant. They can't stop their lies. They're painting Jimmy Kimmel's situation as he's being fired because he's a comedian against Trump. This is a lie. This is just a flat out lie. But they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves in their own denial and lie, and they have to perpetuate their own stereotypes of the right and how they're coming against us and there's nothing we can do and the right owns everything and blah, 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 blah. But again, when the right was being canceled, just to think of a few names on the right of people being canceled. J.K. Rowling, who is like who is a feminist, is not allowed to show up to her premieres. She's not allowed to go to some bookstores. The actors all came out against the things that J.K. Rowling said about the trans community, and they were all happy to do that, even though they made all their money and their success based on her own works. Megyn Kelly for saying that she sees nothing wrong with a little girl dressing up like a black girl that celebrates that black culture. She was fired and people gloated about that. Tucker Carlson being fired, they gloated about that for a long time. And I can't emphasize this enough. A comedian gloating about Roseanne Barr being fired because of unhinged takes. You are the problem. And now you want sympathy and empathy from me? No. No. Oh, no. No, you won't get the sympathy from me. Valerie, I thought you died. So glad you're alive, man. He's suspended for a week. That's what, and I said that at the beginning, Valerie. Jimmy Kimmel is not fired. He's still being paid. So this idea, and so all these liars of these leftists are trying to do these victory laps oh my God, he's literally fired for his hate speech. What if Kimmel was a leader of the furry mafia? From man show to a leader of the furry mafia? I support that. That's depressing. So everyone's blaming Benny Johnson for the show yesterday. Again, blaming Benny Johnson would be, that's like blaming somebody else for your own issues. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
My program and my producers continue to hit the bricks and call local stations, call the local affiliates, and ask if they are going to be broadcasting Jimmy Kimmel, given the FCC's commentary and given the liabilities that Disney has put on.
Okay, never mind. I blame Benny Johnson.
Them. And a huge compliment to Nexstar and a massive compliment to Sinclair Broadcasting, who both told us in statements that are now public that they are going to end the Jimmy Kimmel Show. They're going to rip the Jimmy Kimmel Show off the air.
He's not being ripped off the air. We'll see what actually happens. If he does get ripped off the air, who cares? Will anyone actually shed a tear? I don't even think these leftards that are going out and crying about Jimmy Kimmel right now are even going to shed a tear. Or I love these people that are like, Jimmy Kimmel was like my staple as a child. I watched him every night. Really? When's the last time you watched him? 15 years ago? But he was different then.
That took Jimmy Kimmel out of 37 million households. I didn't make that decision. Brendan Carr didn't make that decision.
Who made it?
It was the affiliate stations. These are the organizations that own the actual broadcast stations. They manage them. ABC News simply creates the content. And so this is absolute.
Yeah, his bosses put him in suspension. And he's being paid. He's just fine. And you, hey, just start a podcast like the rest of us, okay? Go into Rumble. You're off YouTube, go into Rumble. I'm sure he'll go into YouTube. He'll go into Twitch. He'll probably be propped up, and he'll make millions of more dollars. He'll be fine.
The free market.
Tears of laughter.
Is the local stations declaring that they will not try to defend the indefensible, and they said so in their statements. So this is absolutely 100% justifiable. Sorry for the long answer, but it is important for everybody to understand.
Yeah.
This is not an attack on free speech. This is not because somebody told a naughty joke that we don't like. This is because Jimmy Kimmel did the indefensible, and he victim blamed Charlie Kirk's political assassination on himself.
Yeah. It's not a freedom of speech thing. He's not going to jail. Jimmy Fallon is not going to prison. He's not going to jail. We're not throwing away the key. He's not going to some re-education camp. He's not going to a concentration camp. He's not being deported. He is just going home to his multi-millionaire mansion with all his friends surrounding him, telling him he's going to be just fine. I'm sure the Obamas are throwing a couple million towards him. I'm sure the Clinton Foundation will find some way to help him out. I'm sure he'll be just fine. He might show up on MSNBC. He's probably going to make more money than he's ever made in his life. Again, there's nothing better in life for these sorts of people than to be canceled, because it seems like as soon as they get canceled, everything is just fine and they go crazy. And again, this is not a cancellation. A cancellation would be, I don't know, pulling up an old picture of him as blackface Karl Malone and saying he needs to go due to Karl Malone, it's me, Jimmy Kimmel, I'm in blackface. Remember when I did blackface? Okay, that would be cancellation. So that would be cancellation, not what's happening right now. But here is Jimmy Fallon. I keep saying Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, I don't know who he is. God. I think Kristen says, I think I might hate everyone on the left and the right. Oh, you hate all of us? Okay. Rao Havana says Jimmy should be on the girls' trampoline since he has no balls. Yeah, put him. What was that called when he said at the trampoline thing at the end? Something jugs on trampoline. I don't remember. Jesse Smith says Jimmy Kimmel is in love with his job. This is breaking my heart. Me too, man. Me too. Here's Jimmy Kimmel being scurried away in his truck, so people don't know who he is. And he's wearing flannel. He literally looks like a right winger. Oh my God. Okay, here's him scurrying away in his truck. Are you okay? Get in the back seat. Hide. Get in the back seat so paparazzi don't see you. Sit in the back seat. Hose in the back. It's a thing. Oh, see, and here's who I'm most worried about, okay? Poor Guillermo, who's buying. For those of you who don't know who Guillermo is, he was like the security guard of the show, and then Jimmy Kimmel put him more on the show because he's just a funny character. I'm worried about Jimmy Guillermo. Ain't nobody gonna hire this man. Sorry, Guillermo. Time to work somewhere else, man. Kristen, love you. Get in the back of the bus, Jimmy. Get in the back of the bus. You think that's what she said? Who's this blonde chick? This literally... hold on a second. Liberal tears. This literally doesn't that look like a liberal a Daily Wire leftist tears mug? Oh my God, we just blew it wide open. Is that your leftist tears mug? You're freaking busted, dude. This is Derek O'Shea Show, okay? Nothing escapes my radar. My gaydar is strong. My gaydar is very strong. Very, very strong. And who carries a backpack like that? Okay, if you're gonna have a backpack, if you're carrying a backpack, don't carry it like a purse. That's my Bill Maher impression. If you're gonna carry a backpack, don't carry it like a purse. Yeah, I said it, people. I'm not afraid to say it and offend the left and the right. Is that Martha Stewart? Probably. No, because she doesn't have a huge joint on her hand because she's a drug addict. Okay, here's get in the back of the bus. I'm so worried about him. Who is this guy? Who is this guy, dude? What? Who is this guy? Who is this guy, dude? He's the one that fired Jimmy Kimmel, dude. He's the one that put him on leave. Is this the Matrix? He's like, Jimmy, I'm offering you the blue or the red pill, brother. Which pill you want, brother? You tell me right now. Just call me Morpheus. I can't believe I didn't see this guy. He's got is that a do-rag underneath with this hat? These glasses. Oh, it's just incredible. And here's the leftard that's offering his condolences. Like he's putting his hand on his heart. He's like, my heart goes out to you. I love Jimmy Kimmel as much as you love Jimmy Kimmel. Namaste. This is the yoga. This is probably one of the writers. That's why he sucks. Also, what is in your freaking pants?
I'm gonna come.
Oh, God. What is in dude, whatever's in your pants, man, needs to chill out, dude. Is that the Huggy Bear from Beretta? Yeah. The driver from Die Hard? If I was Guillermo, I'd be like, hey, whatever's in your pocket, man, can you please take it out or do something about it? So poor Guillermo. Max Headroom DI version? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, this guy. I don't know who this character is, but I want to meet him. Also, what is this? This is like an iPad purse. It looks like an iPad purse, man. Okay. What the heck is going on? Fire them based on that. And especially these shoes. Look how shiny this is. It's like tuck shoes, man. Okay, what the frick is going on? The highest paid security guard ever. He's the security guard of the show and he limps. He got excited by Jimmy's, man. Yeah. I want to see the mirrors come out. Okay. So that's Jimmy Kimmel. I keep calling him Jimmy Fallon, but that's Jimmy Kimmel being escorted out of the building. Very sad to see. As we remember some of Jimmy Kimmel's famous remarks, especially during COVID, I remember Jimmy Kimmel literally saying this.
Hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. People dying is so funny.
It's so funny. Yes, Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. I want you to be as demonic as you possibly can. Yes.
Any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me.
No, it doesn't. Kill the conservative.
Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you.
Funny.
Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Rest in peace, Wheezy. It was a joke.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, yeah. Grandma that took horse paste. Yeah, nobody was taking horse paste, idiot. And remember, keep in mind, this is literally why they're like so sad about him being fired. Because he's one of us. He's one of us. Satan, is that you again?
Yes. Kristen, I'm going to come for you.
So Tim Waltz got his horse injection. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But let's also remember when Jimmy Kimmel also celebrated Tucker Carlson being fired, because again, as long as you're a right-winger experiencing cancel culture or culture of consequences culture, consequencing my culture.
Emotional damage.
As long as you're on the right experiencing horrible things, it's okay for people like him. I will do your bidding.
Yes.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways.
Yes, firing is hilarious and funny. Except for if it's Jimmy Kimmel being fired, then it's against hate speech and it's a literal First Amendment issue. Shut up.
Which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what?
Jimmy Kimmel got fired. He's already on a plane meeting his manager, George Soros. Oh, isn't that hilarious?
What a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock.
What an absolute delightful shock that you got fired. Also, at the same point of me, something that's really sad to even think about. If I could just have an honest moment with you people in the chat and have an honest moment. I never watched Jimmy Kimmel, and so him being fired doesn't affect me at all. But I'm going to act like I'm excited about this. Because consequences. This is the culture you wanted, brah. This is the culture. You're not being canceled. This is consequences.
Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done.
That sounds a little bit like projection. Is that what you do? Is that what you do? You like the green one? Me, I'm a yellow peanut M&M guy myself. Oh shoot, that makes me
on poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most...
Satan's fiery beehole. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Satan fiery beehole? I don't have one of those.
Now we can get rid of the spew. That would actually be nice. Could you imagine having late night comedy be more even keel and make fun of the left and the right? That would be honestly refreshing. You don't see a lot of that. It's either like a right wing only channel that makes fun of the right or a left wing only channel. It's just like, it's all the same. And I'm part of the problem. Shoot. Violet says, I was watching old shirtless Russell Brand. What did you say, Violet? I was watching oddly shirtless Russell Brand talk to Fuentes and had to tap out. Dude, Russell Brand and his and he does have a sexy body. Oddly shirtless. Is he talking to Fuentes right now and he's shirtless? That's just amazing. I'm gonna have to watch it by myself in a closet. What are you doing in there, Derek? I'm watching Russell Brand talk. I know it's on Rumble. Oh, so it's too scandalous to put on here then. It's way too scandalous. Russell Brand is shirtless talking to Nick Fuentes. I don't know why but that just feels wrong. Nick Fuentes is too young to have your shirt off for, bro. We're parting ways. See you later, Jimmy. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the left celebrates firings constantly, and I have like a bunch of clips, but I picked out some selective clips like AOC talking about how it's important for a culture of accountability.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
There you go, Queen.
What I will say, though,
tell
is
us.
While I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson is the reason for that. Are you freaking nuts? Oh, yeah, you are. Okay, sorry, my bad.
I also kind of feel like...
How the turntables turn, exactly. Oh, how the tables turn the tables.
I'm like waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled.
Yeah.
And then you see like the villain's like hand
reemerge
out to grip over like the end of a building or something.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Keep going.
But
tell us.
Deplatforming works.
Exactly.
And it is important. And
it's very important.
There you go. Good things can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Deplatforming works, and that's a great thing. Except if it's Jimmy Kimmel, okay? Then it's literally freedom of speech. It's the First Amendment thing. Oh, right-wingers, oh my God, you're so hypocritical. No, this is the world you want, girl. This is the world you want, queen. This is the world you want. And here's Chuck Schumer doing the same thing about Tucker Carlson.
These lies continue tonight.
Uh-huh.
Rupert Murdoch,
yes,
who has admitted they were lies,
okay,
and said he regretted it, has a special obligation to stop Tucker.
So Jimmy Kimmel saying that MAGAs are killing MAGAs and lying about that, and then under the false shadow of saying that it was a joke, and then you have Chuck Schumer saying that it's really bad to question elections, and therefore that's why you should be fired. These are not equally exclusive. These are not seen as the same playing field in my book. But again, this is the kind of feelings they had towards the right.
Carlson from going on tonight, now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth.
Slimed.
And from letting him go on again and again and again. Not because their views deserve such opprobrium, but because our democracy depends on it.
Yeah, our democracy depends on people like Jimmy Kimmel not being on the air. And unfortunately, I am starting to lean with even people as crazy as Stephen A. Smith when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel says this. I mean, Stephen A. Smith says this about Jimmy Kimmel.
The only thing that I would say as it pertains to Jimmy Kimmel was, where was the joke? Because you're a late night host. And obviously that has a comedic attachment to it.
Attach it. See, that was funny. Attach it.
Where was the joke? Obviously, it wasn't anything funny about that.
No, it wasn't funny. It was not a joke. But they're all pretending. Okay, so let's get into some of the media's response to this. Because you guys know you guys in the chat. You guys know how much of a fan I am of grifters. And you could just see them from a mile away. And the media is going to try to grift off of Jimmy Kimmel as much as they possibly can. They're tired of the spotlight being seen as the bad guy for killing, being a part of killing the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So now they need to go back to being in the victimhood so they can have somebody to blame. And now they can go back to being victims because that's like a really good way to live life for them. That gives them power. That's like their ring. It's like I just got done rewatching Lord of the Rings, which I highly suggest everyone rewatch it. Man, that still holds up. I rewatch Lord of the Rings every year, a couple times a year. I'm a freak. Extended version because I'm all about extensions. I'm gonna come. But here's CNN. We have so many tear-jerking videos to watch from CNN.
That is why we exist.
This is Van Jones, by the way.
That is why we exist. Not to knuckle under, not to do what we're told, but to stand up and to say, listen, if you want to pull these licenses, then we're going to go to court, and we'll be in the court of public opinion. But you don't get to go on a podcast and set policy for American media, for an American media institution that's been around a lot longer than me, you, or Donald Trump. This is a red line that has been crossed for our industry.
This is a red line that's been crossed. God. And they are going to pump this little rabbit as much as they possibly can, and they're going to pump it hard.
For the First Amendment, for the right of people to speak. There was nothing hateful about what was said, and even hateful speech is protected. This is not acceptable.
He's again. Jimmy Kimmel is not going to jail for things that he said. Okay? He lost his job because of things he said for a job that is created on things that you say for a living. This isn't some podcast. He's not making these comments outside of his career. He's not working a Starbucks profession and then going home and making TikToks and then the Starbucks see what he's saying. This is not that. This is him in his job with the attention of millions of people and spreading lies in order for his side to win political points. This isn't cancel culture. It wasn't a joke that was too edgy. In fact, the joke that was too edgy was Roseanne Barr's joke that was edgy, that he himself thought it was a good idea for her to be fired from. So this idea that I'm supposed to feel sorry for you or think that these equate to the same thing, that's a lie. And they're lying right now, and they're good at it.
If you are going to run a media organization that's called a news organization, you have to stand up to government bullying anywhere in the world, and certainly in the United States.
Well, the job should be to speak truth to power, even when there are people who don't like the word truth anymore.
Yeah, okay, but what he was saying wasn't truthful, right? Okay, what Jimmy Kimmel was saying wasn't truthful. Now, if I say Jimmy Fallon one more time, I'm going to literally walk out of my studio that is in the corner of my mother's basement. Van would cry at the grand opening of Best Buy, the intro. Chuck hasn't recovered from eating raw cheeseburgers. Dude, Chuck Schumer and his raw cheeseburger obsession needs to go. Aram says he didn't get fired because of the lie he said about Charlie Kirk or about Trump. He got fired because Nokin watched his show and the company was losing money. Well, that's what I've said at the beginning, Aram. He got fired because they've been looking for a reason to get rid of Kimmel. Like I said, all these leftists that are being fired over Charlie Kirk things, I guarantee you a lot of these companies were looking for a reason to get rid of these sorts of people, and now they have a reason. Because in today's culture, firing somebody isn't very easy to do, especially if you don't work in a right-to-work state. Like if you're in South Carolina, you could just be fired willy-nilly. People don't even have to tell you. But a lot of these states, there's lawsuits and people are like, I don't want to fire this person because, I don't know, they're black or they're trans or they're gay or they're worried that they fit in these sorts of categories. And Jimmy Kimmel would be the type of person that would fight a lawsuit and then you'd have to pay him a bunch of money to get rid of him. He in his contract, I'm sure he has a clause that says if you decide to fire me, you have to pay me a bunch of money. And they're like, we don't want to fire you. But then I'm sure there's a moral clause in his contract that says, oh, you crossed it. Now we can get rid of you for free. And again, I would not be surprised if Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air next week and he has the biggest show he's ever had in his life. And all of a sudden, all these left-wingers will all like celebrating him being back. This idea that he's gone forever, we'll see if he's gone forever. We'll see. Miss Barry, what's up? Miss Barry, so glad you're here. I didn't know. Sometimes, like, I just want you guys to know, sometimes when I don't see some of y'all's names in the chat, I'm like, did I say something that was, like, too offensive? And I lost that viewer. Sometimes I wonder about that. Sometimes I wonder if I'm pulling a Jimmy Kimmel. Without USAID money, his show failed. Dude, all these NGOs and USAID money and stuff like that, it's amazing to see what's actually going on. It's amazing. So people like Harry Sisson, who is a paid Democrat pawn, put out this post. Anti-Trump posters are being placed outside Jimmy Kimmel Theater in Hollywood. People are pissed off. We stand with Kimmel. You didn't even know his name. Trump must go now. Yeah, now. So, que se largue Trumpo? Yeah, Trump must go now. Trump must go now. Refusefascism.org. Refusefascism.org. Let's go to that website. Refusefascism.org. I love that it's a .org. All right, let's go to that website. Okay, here's this website. The time has come. The fall for Trump. The fall of Trump and the fascist regime. Man, this is a wide freaking shot. Beginning November 5th, 1-year anniversary of Trump's election, flood DC in a protest. So they're planning on protesting November 5th in a non-violent protest. That's interesting. Really? I wonder if it'll stay non-violent if right-wingers show up. Probably not, because you guys are all freaking nuts. So stay out of DC by November 5th. I would highly suggest that. Again, and they're all lying about these sorts of things, about him being fired. Here's Brian Allen. The Daily Mail says Jimmy Kimmel, God, I said it again. The Daily Mail says Jimmy Kimmel is now facing federal investigation. No, he's not. He's not going to go to jail. Dude, if Jimmy Kimmel goes to jail over this, okay, I will stand up for him. You're allowed to say psychotic things like that. He's not going. What's up, Chris? He's not going to jail. The Daily Mail says Jimmy Kimmel is now facing federal investigation for telling viewers that Charlie Kirk's killer was a 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was a MAGA supporter. Let that sink in. Comedians are getting investigated for political speech now. Welcome to fascism. Yeah, and we're going to put all of you behind bars. Isn't that what you want? Don't you have some kind of weird fetish where you enjoy that sort of thing, you friggin' leftards? Let that sink in. Comedians are getting investigated for political speech now. Yeah, exactly. You know how many comedians they would have to put behind bars? It would literally be every comedian on the Comedy Central, ABC, NBC, and CBS. And let's stop calling these people comedians already. You have to be funny to be a comedian. You have to do stand-up at some point. At least in my book, you can't just be some guy that has 1,000 writers to write for you and you still put out crap. He's still free. He's not in jail. It's not a freedom of speech thing. And again, here's Pat Oswald. Jimmy Kimmel is being deported by Kilmar. With Kilmar? Yeah. Oh, he's going to Africa with him? This is not a freedom of speech thing. Free speech? What you mean, Darlene? So here's Patton Oswalt. Again, all these comedians that are coming out in support of Jimmy Kimmel didn't say a single thing when a literal comedian, Roseanne Barr, was kicked off her show, Roseanne. It was literally a show about her life and about her, and based on her life and her name, and has spawned from her, and she did a lot of writing for this show and literally survived off of her own comedy career. And they kicked her off because she made some tasteless jokes for some. And remember, Jimmy Kimmel laughed about it, enjoyed it, and comedians just stayed away from Roseanne Barr. They didn't say anything about freedom of speech, but now they're all coming out. So here is left wing, right wing, same bird. Darlene, you need to give me more context for what you think is actually happening. If you think this is a freedom of speech thing, I'm sorry to tell you, Jimmy Kimmel was not in jail. He's doing just fine. He's a multimillionaire, and he's on leave right now. He's not even fired yet. So let's just take a little chill pill on the freedom of speech thing. He's not going to jail. If he's going to jail over this, I can see that argument. But right now, you don't have an argument for freedom of speech. Hope Jimmy enjoys the government cheese. yeah, give him some cheese. So here's Patton Oswalt talking about how shaken he is by this announcement.
Isaac Asimov said that there's only 3 science fiction plots. What if only, and if this goes on. And unfortunately, we are at the dark end of if this goes on.
What?
That line that when we crossed it, we're all supposed to rise up, that's way, way behind us. So we can't just stand up anymore. We gotta roar up, screaming, and link arms.
Yes.
All of us. This thing is coming for all of us. This is a ancient...
Yeah, he has the right to keep working. He's not going to jail. He's doing okay. He's just fine.
Evil that is shooting its shot right now. It sees its window.
Oh.
And it's...
The evil is shooting its shot right now. Said that on... That's a interesting thing to say at this time period.
Of us. This is a ancient evil that is shooting its shot right now. It sees its window. And it's trying again. It's always going to try. We're always going to have to fight it. This is our time to fight it. And please, I can already see in the comments. Imagine in the comments people going, "Oh, you're this West Coast elite." I'm in the airport right now. I'm traveling to Austin today. I was in Raleigh last week. I'll be in Ohio next month. I'll be in.
Yeah, I'm just like you. I'm just like, look at these people, man. This West Coast elite is saying this. Yes, that's exactly what you are. You're a West Coast elite. You're a multimillionaire. You make a lot of money. I think you're fine. And you're trying to act like you're one of us. I'm going to Austin, where normal people are. I'm going to Ohio, where the normies live. I'm going to the flyover states. Therefore, I'm not a West Coast elite.
Its window, and it's trying again. It's always going to try. We're always going to have to fight it. This is our time to fight it. And please, I can already see in the comments. Imagine in the comments people going, "Oh, you're this West Coast elite." I'm in the airport right now. I'm traveling to Austin today. I was in Raleigh last week. I'll be in Ohio next month. I'll be in.
Wow, you're amazing.
Milwaukee.
You're so amazing.
I'll be in Wisconsin next. I travel all over the country. I love traveling this country.
You're amazing.
I love this country, and I love meeting all the people here. And I meet people every day, every weekend doing comedy, and I know this is not what they voted for. Maybe they thought they were voting for something else. I know this is not what they were voting for, and everyone.
He's not going to jail. I feel like I can't emphasize this enough. If I go to my place of employment, Chuck E. Cheese in Chicago, if I go to my place of employment and I go, F everybody here, F you, or I start saying, it's so good that Charlie Kirk got shot, do you think my employers are going to want to keep me employed? No. They're going to fire me. And so is that a freedom of speech thing? Oh my God, I can't go around and be thankful for murder at my job? That's a freedom of speech thing. Oh no. It's a freedom of speech thing. How come I can't go on and talk about how I'm glad Charlie Kirk got killed? What's the problem with all this sort of thing? I need to keep my job. God. So stupid, dude. It's so stupid. Patton isn't going to find a decent husband walking around like that. We don't want him in Ohio, says Raul. Darlene says, just saying he has the right to say what he wants. He does have the right to say whatever he wants, and he can still do it. He can start a podcast today and continue spreading lies. That's a right that he has. I was just not happy yes, I was not happy when they shut down Roseanne. It was stupid. It was stupid. It was stupid. Again, I am from the side that thinks that people are allowed to say whatever they want. If you get fired for saying whatever you want, that sucks. That's the company's decision. That's not a it's not a First Amendment thing. You know, companies have the right to fire you if they don't like you, or they don't want you to be a part of their place of employment. You can still go home and keep spouting stuff. He's fine. He's fine. You know, I've never seen so many simps cry about a multimillionaire too. Like, Jimmy Kimmel could literally not work a day in his life ever again, and he's going to be fine. It's not like some kid that is, or some 30-year-old dude with 4 kids at home that is struggling to get by and he got fired because he said something bad at work once, and that we need to actually worry about him because he has kids to feed and he has like a whole life in front of him. That's a different story. He's fine. This isn't like a snowball effect. All Disney was saying, hey, maybe let's not gloat about somebody being murdered on ABC. This wasn't HBO. This wasn't Comedy Central. This wasn't some niche channel. This was ABC. This is a family-friendly television channel, okay? This is a Disney channel. You can't go on Disney and be like, say these sorts of things. But these left-wingers think like you should. Do you think ABC would hire somebody like me that would go on and say like Trump was hilarious today, or I enjoyed what Trump said today? They would not hire me. So is that a freedom of speech thing? No, because they don't want somebody like me. And I get it, because they're a bunch of stupid leftards. And I understand that. I understand that sort of thing. That's not a freedom of speech thing. I just don't get this like, I gotta play both sides, or I try to see on either side of that. This is so disingenuous to the context of what actually happened. Yes, wait, let me see. Let me see what y'all are saying. He has the right to say what he wants. People have the right to fire him too. Exactly. Disney's not going to hire me. Disney won't hire me for the things that come out of my mouth, so that's not a freedom of speech thing. Both sides cry when people get fired, and that's okay. You're allowed to cry, but I'm allowed to make fun of you for crying about it. Okay, like, if you want to cry about Jimmy Kimmel, let's stop pretending like you actually watch Jimmy Kimmel. Andrew Gafe says, morons post their behavior, and guess what? Accountability. It ain't 2 or 3 years ago under the Biden absolute crap human beings running our country and culture reality check. People were getting fired for COVID remarks, okay? People were getting fired for BLM protesting, aka riot remarks. So spare me your tears. Darlene says, I agree with you. Darlene, did we just become best friends? And again, like, if you want to cry about Jimmy Kimmel, that's on you, dog. Like, yeah, that's fine. You can cry about Jimmy Kimmel, but why? You didn't watch him. No one watched him. I think Jimmy Kimmel's entire audience was the people in the audience. But Patton Oswalt is wanting you to think that this is a moment to always remember.
Day, every weekend.
Or 10-year-old tweets. Yeah, that's cancel culture. If you're to pull up like 10-year-old tweets of jokes that I make, look, guys, I understand. I'm going to say things on this show because A, this is a live show. It's not scripted. And I tend to make off-the-cuff jokes. And I tend to make I tend to say things that aren't necessarily the most palatable for every single human being. And I tend to push a lot of sarcasm. And so I understand that some people don't understand sarcasm, and some people don't understand when someone is joking. And so some people are going to get offended by that. But that's on you for being offended. And also, like, if you decide not to watch me anymore, that's not like a freedom of speech thing. Like, just like so silly. You know, his ratings sucked. Remember that. Keep it in context. Maybe the Juggies need a house board. Yeah, exactly, Sean. The Juggies. That was the word. Now we love you. I love you, Michael.
And doing comedy, and I know this is not what they voted for. Maybe they thought they were voting for something else. I know this is not what they were voting for. And everyone that's been
Yeah. Nobody that voted for Donald Trump, now that Jimmy Kimmel was fired by his own bosses, are now regretting their voting for Donald Trump. What? What? This has nothing to do with Trump, but of course that's the push they're gonna do, because it's a fascistic regime taking over. Let me just say this too also as well, is I'm seeing a lot of these leftists going around online saying that, oh great, is the government going to be in control of the media? You guys like NPR and PBS. What are you talking about? What are you talking? This is what you want, dude. Oh, because it has a different point of view, I don't want my government in control of it.
Oh, I support Trump, but this isn't what I voted for. Well, now
Sue unsubs. I will. If I find out you unsub from my channel, I will find you.
your time to actually show that. Okay, please. This is an awesome country.
Yeah, it is.
We're handing it over to frightened, short-sighted
bigots.
I don't even know what these people are. We're handing it over
Fascist,
to the wrong people.
Oh.
And equally great countries have been handed over to frightened, petty people.
Yeah, like who? Say it. You're only going to say Germany, huh? You're not going to say like China or Russia or, any kind of communist dictatorship. No.
And we got to stop it.
We got to stop it.
Yeah, that's it. Jesus.
Oh my God, I'm literally crying right now. It's just too much for me to handle. My friend being fired on ABC. Now I don't have a place to go on and say stupid crap on that is seen as comedy. My life is ruined. Everything about my life is ruined. He's not a comedian. He's just a flat out liar and immoral person. Jimmy Kimmel? Yes. Or are you talking about Patton? I feel like mutually exclusive. Disco Puss says, truth and accountability is exactly what we voted for. Also, this is the world in which you guys created. And now that you thought that, like, the left thought that, like, you could create this sort of world and then not have any kind of reaction or, like, reverse effects on you. We said that at the beginning. You create this cancel culture. It's going to come back and bite you on the butt. And they were like, no, it's not. We're going to be in power forever because we have the popular vote. We're always going to win. Oh, it came back. And maybe Jimmy Kimmel, maybe some of the things that were coming out of your mouth, people didn't find funny and thought was like actually offensive. But that you're on ABC, dude. You're not on HBO. Go start a podcast and say your offensive jokes. Like saying MAGAs are shooting MAGAs. That's so funny. God. Was that a joke? Because it didn't seem like it. No one laughed in the audience when you said it, so therefore I feel like that's like the truth teller. Oswald is a coattail rider. Yeah. Yeah, he is. Okay, now let's go on to CNN and my favorite. Can we just say a little prayer? Say a little prayer for you. Look at my man Brian Stelter. Dude is looking more orange every single day. They made fun of Trump for so long for being an orange man that they themselves have become an orange man. He looks more Cheeto than anyone I know. Okay, here's Brian Stelter.
Even though we're talking about comedy, this is so serious, Aaron.
This is so serious. We're talking about comedy. Well, we talking about comedy? We talking about practice?
Even though we're talking about comedy, this is so serious, Aaron. Yeah. America is a less free place if late night comedians cannot do and say what they want. Of course, they can be tuned out. People can change the channel. That's how we vote. That's how we have our say in America.
People were changing the channel and his ratings were incredibly low, and he was up for a new contract at the end of the year, and they decided, let's cut it now.
But this really does have a chilling effect across the American media. And it's not just me saying it. We've heard from...
Can you feel the chill? Even... She just had a chilling effect. What's going on with her throat? She got some Brian Orange Cheetah breath in her mouth.
And it's not just me saying it. We've heard from the group Fire in the...
This has a chilling effect. Can you feel the chillingness?
This really does have a chilling effect across the American media. And it's not just me saying it. We've heard from the group Fire in the past few minutes, the free speech group Fire, saying, quote, the government pressured ABC.
The freedom of speech group Fire that everyone knows about. Ever heard of Fire? No one's ever heard of Fire. And they're going to use some, like, I love all these people are using like these sources that are, have no tracing to knowing where the source came from. 2 sources said this.
Saying, quote, the government pressured ABC and ABC caved. Quote, we cannot be a country where late night talk show hosts serve at the pleasure of the president.
Quote,
but until institutions grow a backbone and learn to resist government pressure, That is the country we are. And just one more note, Aaron, I've heard from Brendan Carr in the past few minutes. He's very pleased about Nexstar deciding to preempt the show. He has not officially reacted to ABC's decision yet. But when I told him about ABC's decision to go ahead and basically, this is a cancellation unless the show ever comes back, he did send me a GIF. He sent me a celebratory meme as his reaction, Aaron.
Thanks for that honest reporting. I sent my right-winger friend a message and said, any comments to this? And he sent me back a meme. Back to you in the studio. This has a chilling effect. I love when, like, you can tell, like, when the words that come out of people's mouths, people don't take as genuine anymore. And so when they use this verbiage like chilling effect, can you feel the chillingness that's happening? It's making me perky. Sweet potato orange. That is a sweet potato. Dude, I had some sweet potato fries last night, and he does kind of look like my sweet potato fry. Oh, Brian Stelter, my sweet potato fry. He's a really nice guy. And he's always quick to cry. Just fly, sweet potato. Fly, fly away. Just go away forever unless you come out. That was off the dome. You're welcome. He is actressing. Yeah, exactly. Morning, JR. Morning. This chilling effect that's sweeping the nation. People are chilled. Welcome to the chill zone. Chilled. And I'm seeing all these leftards going around. We are Jimmy Kimmel. They just made the movement. Like, I feel like all these people like want some really epic music behind the scenes. Let's see. They just want some like epic music about Jimmy Kimmel. They all are feeling the same way. Let's get some epic. We are all Jimmy Kimmel. They made the movement stronger than ever before. I'm Jimmy Kimmel. 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 And you're Kimmel. We're all Jimmy Kimmels today. No, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to take the attention off of the left wing shooting and assassinating Charlie Kirk and trying to make you out to be the victim again. We see right through you, jerks. We see right through you. I like when you sing parody or improv songs 8 out of 10. Thanks, JR. You might be the only one. Left has got a taste of their own medicine and the outrage. Go figure. Yeah, I know. But of course they were going to outrage about it. Hit song. It felt like a hit song. It felt good. It felt good. And you know what feels even better? Barack Obama. Barack Obama put out a post this morning regarding Jimmy Kimmel. He goes on to say, and who knows if, people like this are actually tweeting these sorts of things. I like the idea that people think like these multimillionaires actually run their social media account. Like Barack Obama is sitting on the toilet writing this tweet out this morning. No, he's not. He's having a great time with Big Mike. Barack Obama says, after years of complaining about cancel culture, the current administration has taken it to a new and dangerous level. A new and God, I went deep in my throat. Taking it to a new and dangerous level by routinely threatening regulatory action against media companies unless they muzzle or fire reporters and commentators it doesn't like. Yeah. Democrats have never pressured, YouTube, pressured Facebook, pressured Twitter when it was Twitter to cancel people or diminish their voices. And then right-wingers went, okay, you want to cancel us or diminish our voices, we'll just start a new platform like Gab or Parler. And then Apple was pressured not to even allow that app on the app space. So spare me your both sidesism. This isn't the same thing. He's not going away. He can start a podcast. He can learn to code. I want to see Jimmy Kimmel actually code. Also, Barack Obama, do you even realize when you're posting this picture that Jimmy Kimmel's head is off? Unreal, dude. Thanks, Barack Hussein. Let's turn up the rhetoric. Yeah, exactly. Kimmy, Kamalian. You've got to go. You've got to go. Jimmy cocaine. I like that song, Violet. You've got to go, and you're a hoe. You're
over the weekend.
Okay. So Barack Obama is turning up the rhetoric, and my favorite is Eric Swallows. Well, okay, that's not funny. Okay, that's not funny. What's up, DJ Sanjay Detroit? I saw your last message about working in Hollywood, by the way. Both sides need to chill, bro. We're all chilling. Hey, thank you so much for becoming a member. Will, appreciate you, man. I don't know if you just dropped it. Yeah, if you're a member, you can always drop a membership super chat, and it's free. If the Biden administration shows banning anyone they disagree with on social media, it was the Biden administration shadow banning. It wasn't they were just shadow banning. They were pressuring these companies to shadow ban them. That was the big thing. And then it came out, and all these left-wingers acted like it wasn't a big deal. It's like, do you not understand the whole reason why Rumble got started? This is literally why Rumble was started, because of the administration pressuring these social media companies to lock down other people's opinions. And they did it quietly, that's way more scary than getting rid of Jimmy Kimmel for lying about the shooter and making a Trump joke, and then ABC deciding we don't want any part of this. That's ABC. So if the left wing wants to get mad at anyone, you should get mad.
Desert Hangout super chatted $2. Derek O'Shea Rock.
Hey, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Willie. I appreciate you, my guy. I always appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat from Willie. Yeah, it's not the same thing. Not to say, look at him, look at them, dude. Eric Swallows well is he's such a character. Look at him wearing his Jimmy Kimmel live hat. When did you get that, dude? When did you get that? God. I'm wearing this hat all day in protest of the Trump administration. Why don't you go to Disneyland and protest Disney for firing him? You're talking about Trump administration. It's like, God, they love being the victims so much. Kimmy Kamalian? Yeah, exactly. All right, here's Eric Swallows well.
Congressman, I see you are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
As if this wasn't staged at all.
Congressman, I see you're wearing a hat. Now, I can perfectly read that hat, but I want the audience to feel the chilling effects of you speaking about the hat. Can you feel the effects?
Look at this.
Congressman, I see you are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John.
Oh, wait.
Willie's Desert Hangout sent a super chat for $2 and included the message, Derek O'Shea rocks.
Derek Rock Gaza. That's what it looked like. Did you hear Eric Swallowwell just now? You're damn right I'm wearing this hat. Yeah, you're such a hardcore man, Eric Swallow.
Congressman, I see you are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John.
You're damn right. This is America. You're damn right.
Shut up, God. These people are so ridiculous, man.
You're damn right. God, I can hear that like 100 times.
I notice you're wearing a hat. Tell us about your hat. Eric Swallow, go.
Congressman, I see you are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John. I was a guest on the...
Did you see him like get on his tippy toes when he said damn right? Watch his shoulders go up. He goes, you're damn right. You got on your twinkle toes, didn't you? You got on your twinkle toes and you did a little hoppy skippy to show how you're emphasizing the damn right.
You're damn right I am, John. I was a guest on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He, every night, has a right to come into any house that wants to watch and entertain Americans, just as Greg Gutfeld on Fox has a right to be not funny and go on his network and entertain Americans. It's a part of who we are, John, and frankly, it should shake every American that the President of the United States is out there firing comedians who make fun of him. That is not who we are, and every American should care and stand up to this.
dude, what the frick, dude? Donald Trump is firing comedians? What, do they work for Trump? You're fired and you're fired. Get out of here. You're cracking me up. Thanks, Jessica. Why is Eric acting like a gay cowboy? Because he is a gay cowboy. As if there was a problem with that. I've been on Jimmy Fallon. God, keep calling him Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Kimmel has invited me onto his show before. Therefore, this affects me, and therefore I have the authority to speak on this issue. I've been on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and Jimmy Kimmel and I go way back. We've shared 2 text messages between each other, and that makes us like besties. We're besties with testes, a lot of people say. We're just a couple besties with a couple huge testes. And this is a chilling effect for all America and Americans everywhere. Americans should be really scared to death they're going to end up in some kind of concentration camp. It's like Germany all over again. Hello. Haven't you ever seen one of those frickin' movies? I'm Eric Swallow, and I'm speaking facts. Who's going to take to the streets? So yeah, exactly. Guys, these little fake guys. Guys, tonight, we're gonna riot. We're gonna riot in the streets in the nearest city near. There's riots popping up in all major cities across America for Jimmy Kimmel. And the left goes, Jimmy Kimmel? We're not gonna riot for him. This is a chilling effect for America. Is it though? Like, I don't really care about Jimmy Kimmel. This is a chilling effect that you need to be super serial about. I really don't want to be super serial about that because I don't really care. You should be super serial about these sorts of things in America. Shut up, dude. Do these people know something we don't know? Does Trump own the ABC? I think he does. Trump is actually the owner of Disney. I want to see that. I want to see that damn right again. Dude, the damn right kills me every time.
Hat say.
You're damn right I am, John.
You're damn right I am. I'm wearing a hat. You're damn right.
Or wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John. I was a guest on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He, every night, has a right to come into any house that wants to watch and entertain Americans, just as Greg Gutfeld on Fox has a right to be not funny and go on his network and entertain Americans.
He really thought that was going to be a funny joke. He's like, just as much as Greg Gutfeld has a right to go on Fox News and not be funny. I'm hilarious. I'm basically a comedian. What's up, Jacobed? Swallow just needs a few more bean burritos. Yeah, get him a burrito. Yeah, I'm with you, Miss Barry. We need to lock arms in solidarity with Jimmy Kimmel. I will be leaving my job at 12 p.m. today to lock arms and fight against the patriarchy.
It's a part of who we are, John, and frankly, it should shake every American that the President of the United States is out there firing comedians who make fun of him.
Do you feel being... I just got shooken. Donald Trump is firing comedians. Shake it, baby, shake it. It's literally the most shakeable thing. It's the most shakeable offense there ever is. Eric Swalwell is a congressman representing California, Alameda County. That is true. And he has a pool in his backyard. And I look to more reasonable voices in desperate times such as this, where our First Amendment is being attacked. Sing a song about Eric Swalwell? Wait.
A hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John.
You're damn right he's wearing a hat and he doesn't give a crap. Sorry. You're welcome. That was all I can muster about Eric Swalwell as well. I agree with him for once. Gutfeld is not funny. Oh, you're not allowed to say that.
Jimmy Kimmel, they're trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure you've heard the news by now. But I've been going through...
I look at this video, dude. I love videos like this. They're all like trying to be like, let's make a video showing how like you're a genuine human being and you're a normal person. Let's make a video that shows like you're just like on the side of your couch, you're hanging out, and you just had this deep thought that came to you out of nowhere that you got to get off your chesticles.
Jimmy Kimmel, they're trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure you've heard the news by now. But I've been going through the internet looking for the clips to see what they're mad or upset about, and I can't find it.
Who is they?
These are I can't find it. The one that they have on there, I don't see where that's even controversial.
Exactly. MAGA's killing MAGAs is hilarious. God, jeez. What are you talking about? Do you see how they lie? ABC is a fan of MAGA's killing MAGAs and laughing about somebody being assassinated on a family-friendly television network that's on not even on cable. It's on antenna still.
They have on there, I don't see where that's even controversial. The guy's a comedian.
The guy is a comedian. He was making a joke, even though it wasn't a joke. And it's a comedian. He's comedian stuff.
This is the same party, the same group of people.
This is the same party that is against cancel culture. See, I told you right-wingers are full of crap. See, I told you guys. So don't listen to them when they want your sympathy for Charlie Kirk being murdered. That's literally what he's trying to say. This is literally what he's trying to say.
Who complained about everything is too woke. Comedians can't say anything anymore. They're killing comedy.
The right is killing comedy. That's right.
The folks who are complaining about killing comedy are killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about canceling people are canceling people.
No, we're not. I'm not canceling Jimmy Kimmel. He can start a podcast and I'll make fun of him on his podcast from here.
What does that tell you? That they don't believe in any...
Jimmy Lemon is doing an impersonation of his fantasy bathhouse night. Ew. Eric Swalwell's song, 3 out of 10. Sorry. The demonic left is suddenly free speech after a decade of banning it and killing a man after having an opinion celebrating children cried effing sparrows. I agree with you. So lizard people can come gay. Yeah, exactly.
Is too woke. Comedians can't say anything anymore. They're killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about killing comedy are killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about canceling people
are canceling
people.
I wrote that today.
What does that tell you? That they don't believe in anything that they're saying.
Told you. I knew. I haven't even seen this whole clip. I knew he was going to say that. They don't believe. Don't listen to any of these people. You can't trust them. They're trying to be your friends. They're trying to cozy up next to you. You can't trust these people.
They've said that they have no core.
They have no core.
All it is if it doesn't fit their particular ideology or belief, then they don't want to hear it.
So they're the same as you.
And that's the moment that we're in now. This is a very dangerous and scary moment.
God, did they all get like some kind of message? I swear to God, all these little leftards got all the same message. Say something about it being dangerous, shaking, and scary. Those words are really resonated. We did a group study and we invited 20 people off the street and asked them which words make you are scarier to say or they hit home more. Does scary hit home? Beep beep beep. Yes, it does. Is dangerous a good one? Beep 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 beep. Yes, it is. Is shaken a scary one? Yes, that's a scary one. Also, that is a way too shiny of a ring.
fit their particular ideology or belief, then they don't want to hear it. And that's the moment that we're in now. This is a very dangerous and scary moment for America.
This is
This should send a chill or a shiver.
A chill or shiver. Yeah, ABC deciding to put somebody on leave, it should send a chilling shiver down your spine. Again, Kimmel could be back on the air next week. We have no idea. He just refuses to apologize. And so therefore, in a refusal to apologize, they put him on indefinite leave, which again, he could be back next week. Who knows?
Of every American spine, regardless of their Democrat.
I'm curious too, like if Jimmy Kimmel does actually come back to do his show live, if they're just going to delete all these posts. It's such a chilling effect that he's actually back online.
Democrat or a Republican. This is some scary shit. They want people ratting out people who are saying things that they don't agree with, or saying things that they deem to be negative about the sad and tragic death of Charlie Kirk. That's like, to me, it reminds me of back in the day when you had to like rat people out because you believe that they belong to a certain political party. I thought America was beyond that.
Sorry. I just saw one of your comments and made me laugh so hard. Jim, that was me making a joke about Jimmy Kimmel. Sorry, my title triggered you. I was just joking. The greatest comedian ever, Jimmy Kimmel, was fired, was pulled off. I thought being pulled off might have been a little bit of acknowledgement of me making a joke, but maybe some of you don't know what that means. Willie, he said a conservative killed Kirk. He said MAGAs shot MAGAs. Again, for those of you who don't know, this is like the beginning portion of what Jimmy Kimmel actually said. And you can't hear it.
With the MAGA, we hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Yeah, just doing everything they can to score political points, because everything is just about points with these people. Everything's about points. It's all point system. It's all just a point system with them. It's all just a point system. And again, ABC saw that clip, and ABC decided to get rid of Kimmel and put him on suspension for at least a week. We'll see what happens next week. He's not going to jail. He can say whatever he wants. This isn't freedom of speech. He's not going to jail. He can start a podcast. He can live off his millions the rest of his life. He's not being debanked. He's not like Kanye West being debanked. He literally still has his bank account, is still making money. He hasn't been fired. He's still making money. He just refuses to apologize. I mean, it's like, what the hell? What are we even crying about? These are all fake liberal tears, like usual. They all scream wolf constantly. And then when we call them out on it, they're like, you're being disingenuous. You're being hypocritical. It's not the same thing. Kimmel was on his way out. He had the lowest ratings. His ratings kept dropping year after year, and he was under Stephen Colbert, who was literally just fired for his ratings. But they're trying to create this narrative right now. The left is attempting to create this entire narrative that Donald Trump is against comedians and is trying to control media. It's like South Park just railed Donald Trump for like episode after episode, and they're still on air. They didn't get canceled. They didn't get pulled. In fact, they made more money than they've ever made in their life. So spare me your fake tears. Silver Andrews says, Tyler Robinson is programmed. He lacks emotional core and only seems to respond when you say his name. Yet he had so much emotion when he shot and killed a man. Tyler Robinson, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. That is weird about him not talking much, but I can understand why he doesn't want to. You know, I'm sure his lawyer is telling him not to say anything and just to stay silent. And he's actually listening, which most people in that position don't listen to their lawyers. Maybe this is all part of the plan. Kristen says, give Jimmy Kimmel show to Rama Drama. Yes, please. That would be amazing. Kimmel, conservatives are just as cold-hearted and opportunistic as we are. Yeah, exactly. They're stroking up their own fascism rhetoric as usual, playing victim. They love that stuff. They love being the victim. It's what they live through. That's what they live for. The left and communists are trying to control the culture. Says Willie. Rama Drama could get those ratings up. Dude, you would be canceled in a week, Disco. And they'd be like, what voice is this? All right, so CNN decides to bring on Jeffrey Toobin to talk about Jimmy Kimmel. The irony of bringing on Jeffrey Toobin to talk about Jimmy Kimmel is absolutely insane. For you, those of you who don't remember who Jeffrey Toobin is, he is a CNN commentator, a legal analyst commentator. But during COVID, he was caught touching himself and watching corn live, okay, by coworkers and many others, and that video was passed around, okay, and CNN let him go for like a week over it, and then he was brought back. So the idea of bringing Jeffrey Toobin to talk about somebody being let go of their job for doing something heinous is actually hilarious, and they don't even see it. But here's Jeffrey Toobin. I wonder if he'll keep his pants on for this interview.
Of all things to be offended by, you know, I've heard a lot more offensive things said in the aftermath of this terrible, awful event than that, and it just shows they are looking.
Jeffrey must have his hands visible at all times.
By, you know, I've heard a lot more offensive things said in the aftermath of this terrible, awful event than that, and it just shows they are looking for reasons to get Jimmy Kimmel, and they manufactured one out of something that is, you know, hardly.
Who is they? Who is they? Say who they are looking to get Jimmy Kimmel. ABC? Disney? Donald Trump? I love when they talk in these vague terms so they feel like they can just get away with everything.
A dramatic departure from what lots of people are saying.
I mean, I reached out to ABC earlier today to see if he was going to make.
Who the hell is this guy? Thanks for the long show, Derek. Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I got today off, so I'm here to party for a little bit. Who is this guy, dude? Also, I didn't understand a single word that came out of his freaking mouth. Wait. Jeffrey, what are you looking at, man?
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, oh my God.
One out of something that is, you know,
they is them, yeah.
Hardly a
Toobin seriously deserves to be canceled. I think you should be fired on your job if you're touching yourself in front of your coworkers, dude. That's crazy for you to be brought back online.
Yeah. We all forgot about it. We forgive you, bro.
What other job allows that besides CNN?
Dramatic departure from what lots of people are saying.
I mean, I reached out to ABC earlier today to see if he was going to make some sort of statement because this thing was building heat.
Of all,
this guy likes to party. This guy, screen cap for the new intro. Where is it? There it is. I just feel like you just like pull. Oh, hold on. I'll show you if you show me. Jeffrey Tubes. Shout out to Jeffrey Tubes. Okay, and here's Keith Olbermann, just a real piece of crap. Keith Olbermann says, "Burn in hell, Sinclair, alongside Charlie Kirk." God, can we? This guy, I think, he is like Schmeagol, dude. I mean, he is like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. He lives alone. He doesn't have any significant other. He doesn't have children. He's just dying alone in his huge condo in New York, living above everyone else, and it's just a real piece of crap. I remember a time when Keith Olbermann was like everywhere, and it was absolutely insane. Now I'll bring on one of my favorites. $20 on Rumble, Derek? Have lunch on me? Oh my God, thank you so much. Why did that not freaking pop up? Oh, God, you know, when I multi-stream, it's literally killing me. Let me just see. Derek, have lunch on me? Oh, $20 super chat from Kristen. Thank you so much. I freaking love you, dude. Seriously, I seriously love you. I seriously love you. Thank you, Kristen, for the $20 super chat. It means a lot to me. Supporting this show with your hard-earned money. With your money, girl. Supporting this show with your money? What? How dare you do that? Thank you so much for doing that. Kristen, you're the woman. You're a woman. That's a real thing. Oberman is post-cancel doing a lunatic podcast. It's hilariously disturbing to watch, even worse than MSNBC. Does he still do does Keith Olbermann still do a podcast? Is that still a thing? Maybe I need to watch that podcast. Keith Olbermann does have one thing going for him. He does have a good, speaking voice. But other than that, he is absolutely psychotic. Hey, guys, if you don't mind dropping a like on this video, if you're watching on Rumble or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you drop a like. It helps out the algorithms and stuff like that. If you do not mind. Keith Olbermann is absolutely insane. Just nuts. Just nuts. Thank you, Kristen. It means a lot to me. But speaking of nuts and crazy, the same guy that I believe is following the same exact path as Keith Olbermann is Adam Kinzinger, who remember when he was a Republican and now he's grifting off of, I used to be Republican and the Republican Party left me. I love that grift. God, I love that. That grift is one of my favorite grifts of all time. But here's him talking about Jimmy Kimmel and how we need to be shaken to the core over Jimmy Kimmel being put on paid leave to not have to do his show this week.
You know what's funny is back in the day, one of our big kind of proposals as Republican Party was to get rid of insane lawsuits, to have lawsuits.
Can we just say something really quick as we get started? And I don't know this for sure for lawyer purposes, but he looks a little bit like an alcoholic. Am I crazy? Puffed up face, red neck, really red face. He looks like somebody who's struggling with a little bit of alcoholism. And I am just thinking that might be true as somebody who knows a lot of alcoholics. They kind of have the same look. Really red neck, red face, flushed face, puffed out face. Even though they're skinny, they still have a puffed out face. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. I definitely imagine her wearing smoking hot looking rubber cat suits. Disco Puss says, I don't know Kristen, but I love her, but I definitely imagine she's smoking hot and wears a lot of rubber cat suits. Dude, I wear rubber cat suits. And trust me, you don't want to see that. That's between me and Adam Kinzinger late at night. We should be shaken to the core that leftists are inspiring murderers. Exactly. And I think this week we have been. You know, if you haven't been woken up to how sick that ideology is by the stuff that's gone on this week, I don't know what will help you.
You know what's funny is back in the day, one of our big kind of proposals as Republican Party was to get rid of insane lawsuits, to have lawsuit reform, to stop this just constant suing people and costing them money and forcing them. It is amazing how quickly, among other, turns that the GOP has done, how quickly now they're the ones that sue everybody.
Oh.
Because
Jews.
It's just what a whiny, weak person does.
Oh.
Donald Trump is the biggest victim in history. This is a dude that bankrupted a casino, which casinos are built to not bankrupt, by the way, like the math. But this is a guy that has sued everybody his entire life. He's president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, and yet he's always a victim. It's always some conspiracy against him. It's everybody else.
Derek wears it better. I do wear a better catsuit. I've seen it. Compare and contrast. I'll show you if Kristen shows you.
It's not that he's just a weak, whiny boy. And so they are now taking a tragedy, a real tragedy, and trying to turn that into suppressing your First Amendment free speech rights. They've pulled Kimmel.
Speech, rights. No.
Jessica Wizard super chatted $20. Thanks for making me laugh while I'm painting. Tired but so entertained.
Thank you so much, Jessica. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Man, maybe we're going live on Thursday afternoons all the time now. I could go live Thursday and Wednesday afternoons. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe we'll like to party on those days.
Tragedy. And trying to turn that...
Thank you, Jessica. I can't wait to see what Donald Trump has to say.
Tragedy. And trying to turn that into suppressing your First Amendment free speech rights.
Right.
They pulled Kimmel off the air.
They pulled.
Regardless of how you...
I love how they use that vague terminology. They keep saying they pulled Kimmel. They did this. They did. Who is they? I know you're insinuating it's Donald Trump, but you're legally trying to like dance around that and say they. Thank you again for the $20 super chat, Jessica and Kristen. You guys are awesome. And Willie, thanks so much for the $2 super chat.
I feel about his comments. ABC did it because Brendan Carr, the FCC commissioner, who I know, and he's a dork, he basically threatened ABC. So ABC's obeying in advance and pulling Kimmel. Not to mention the lawsuits against these law firms. By the way, law firms that are lawyers that could literally for free go defend themselves. And universities, the bastions of free speech.
Why you keep picking at your nose? Got a little cocaine up there? Just kidding. Jokes.
It is amazing watching my former colleagues just absolutely acquiesce to this and become the new cancel culture. Guys, you won. Cracker Barrel switched their thing back. But they won't be happy because when you speak out and challenge their ideas, they crumble.
Oh, let's get a zoom in.
Instead, they try to challenge your ability to even speak out. Do not be quiet. Do not. They have no power to silence you. None.
Actually, you're pulled off the air.
The First Amendment protects you. They only have power if you acquiesce and if you believe they do. And listen, Donald Trump, when confronted, withers every time.
Yeah, unlike Adam Kinzinger. Debate me, bro. This is a call to Adam Kinzinger. Get on my show and debate me, bro. Debate me about this freedom of speech, this First Amendment issue. Oh, you won't get on my show? Is it because you're scared? You won't debate me, bro? I love when people say those kinds of things. Wait till I get my money, right? Says Chris Crotch. Okay, little Kanye going on in the Chizat. Little Kanye. He's got those crazy eyes. Wait, did he say universities are bastions of free speech? Yes. Unbelievable. Speaking of crumbling, Kinzinger does it in front of Congress. Oh my God. Remember when Kinzinger started crying? Dude, that was still one of my favorite things when he started. I feel like I could watch that again. Kinzinger crying. His fake cries. Watching Kinzinger fake cry is still one of my favorites. Let's see, a little video. Tell me there's a video. Oh, he gets emotional. All right. Okay. Please load. This is embarrassing. What the heck, dude? Load. Okay. They don't want us to see him cry. That's the problem.
Cheryl Kinzinger was already facing a lot of fallout from Republicans in his district because of his ardent criticism of then-President Donald Trump, but taking part in the commission today has fueled some anti-Kinzinger fire.
Anti-Kinzinger.
You guys won. Adam Kinzinger got emotional today during his opening comments as the investigation into the Capitol.
If you don't let me hear him cry, I'm going to lose my mind. Show me him crying.
Thank you to our witnesses. I never expected today to be quite as emotional for me as it has been. I've talked to a number of you and gotten to know you. I think it's important to tell you right now, though. You guys may individually feel a little broken. You guys all talk about the effects you have to deal with, and you talk about the impact of that day.
That day.
But you guys won.
Again.
You guys held.
You held.
Democracies are not defined by our bad days. We're defined by how we come back from bad days.
This is so fake. God, it's so fake.
How we take accountability for that. And for all the overheated rhetoric surrounding this committee, our mission is very simple.
To keep fake crying.
It's to find the truth.
And cry.
And it's to ensure accountability.
Yeah, here's your accountability, bro. None of us believe that you were actually genuinely crying during this time. None of us believe it at all. Even Dave Portnoy seems to have a logical take when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel. Dave Portnoy, who said, with Kimmel getting canned, I see lots of people talking about the hypocrisy of cancel culture. To me, cancel culture is when people go out of their way to dig up old tweets, videos, etc., looking for dirt on somebody they don't like in effort to get them fired. Exactly. Like if Kimmel got canceled for his he did on the Man Show, that would be cancel culture. But when a person says something that a ton of people find offensive, rude, dumb in real time, and then that person is punished for what, that is not cancel culture. That is consequence for your actions. Yes. And he did it on the job. I can't emphasize that enough. Jimmy Kimmel did this on the job. And he was put on leave on the job. I can't go to my place of work, Chuck E. Cheese, and say horrible things out loud to my boss and be fired. I can't go around and be excited about somebody being murdered at my job and keeping my job. That's not a thing. I'm on the clock. It's not cancel culture if my boss goes up to me and is like, Derek, listen, what you said was offensive, and I know I don't care about freedom of speech, but you're being fired. You're being fired completely. Crying and feeling so lonely. Yeah, poor Kinzinger, man. What a pussy. I was like, what a cat. Just take me out if I do that. Okay, we'll do, Chris. We'll do. Derek having trouble with load times. That's rude. Okay, look, my computer that I got water on is still holding up right now. The screen doesn't work, the keyboard doesn't work, but we're still rolling with it. If my keyboard eventually croaks, if my computer eventually croaks, I might be at AOL for a couple of days. I'm saving up money for a new computer is what I'm doing. So hopefully I'll be okay. Derek had to get his Nazi tattoo removed after working at Chuck E. Cheese. I did actually have to get that tattooed. I had a huge swastika on my neck. And they're like, we like you, but we can't hire you. Even though we're all white supremacists that work at this Chuck E. Cheese, you need to take that Nazi tattoo off. I said, hey, I did time in the prison, okay? And in prison, you got to choose a side. And I didn't have much of a choice being a ginger. But it's King Jimmy of late night. Yeah, exactly, Code H2O. Yeah. The greatest comedian of all time, Jimmy Kimmel, fired. Is this cancel culture? Is this the cancellation of culture? Even the FCC chairman had something to say regarding this issue. Say what you want to do. Oh, wait. Say what you want, but do you have to be so evil leftist? Oh, okay, sorry. So here's the FCC chair on CNBC this morning talking about the Jimmy Kimmel situation. So maybe he'll clear up some of these issues that these leftists have because they think that Donald Trump literally fired Jimmy Kimmel. Again, his company put him on leave. He's not fired. He might be back next week. They tried to get Jimmy Kimmel to apologize for what he said about saying a MAGA shot another MAGA. And Jimmy Kimmel said, I'm not going to apologize for that. And they said, okay, if you're not going to apologize, we're putting you on leave. This isn't cancel culture. In cancel culture, I can't emphasize this enough. In cancel culture, you don't get a chance to apologize and keep your job. In cancel culture, you apologize, you lose your job, you get debanked, and you are never afforded a job again. Jimmy Kimmel, if he's fired from the Jimmy Kimmel late night show, he'll start a podcast, he'll make millions of dollars, he'll be just fine. So spare me your tears.
No, look, again, broadcast TV is different. We're on a cable show right now. You don't have an FCC license. You don't have an obligation to serve the public interest. Podcasts don't either. Stand-up comedians, whether they're on lots of forms of communications, don't, and Kimmel is free to do that. But if you have a broadcast TV license, that means that you have something that very few people have. And you're excluding other people from having access to that valuable public resource, and it comes with an obligation to serve the public interest. And again, over the years, there's been a rule in place at the FCC that local TV stations get to preempt programming that they don't think meets the needs of their communities. But recently, these national programmers, ABC, Disney, Comcast, NBC, they've been exercising outsized control and power over those local TV stations, and there's been no pushback. And this is a very significant moment because local broadcasters are now pushing back on national programmers for the first time that I can think of in modern history. And that's one of the things we want at the FCC. We want to empower local broadcasters that have the public interest obligation to push back on national programmers so that people have more choice.
Exactly. It was a nationally broadcasted television channel. It was freaking ABC. It wasn't Comedy Central. It wasn't CNBC like he was saying that doesn't have to go under the guides of FCC. God, it's like Jimmy Kimmel could literally get a show, which I'm sure we'll see what actually happens, see how much of a freaking victim he becomes. Jimmy Kimmel could literally get a show and be put on Comedy Central tonight and say the same joke, and he'll keep it. So spare me your issues regarding like calling him Tom. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Talk show hosts who are like modern Tom Paines. Congressman Jamie Raskin, thank you.
He just called Jimmy Kimmel Tom Paine. Ah! Yeah, he's speaking against the British establishment. God, they're doing everything they can to paint him as like some kind of victim. Are you showing up at the Jimmy Kimmel vigil tonight? If there's a Jimmy Kimmel vigil in my city, I'm going to kick it over. God. Actually, I'm not, because I'm not a psychotic leftist. I'm excited for people to have a vigil for Jimmy Kimmel, though. Not because he's dead, because he is on paid leave. He's making millions of dollars while sitting at home doing nothing, because that's what he does for his job anyways. I can see Carvana stock doing very well. Yeah. Kimmel using public airways for commercial activity, different standard, exactly. You can say bad words on cable, but not on network, exactly. With great power comes great responsibility. Still hasn't learned. Yeah, come on, Spider-Man. Freaking Spider-Man. This is the Tom Paine moment. This is the modern Tom Paine. I like this. It's the Tom Paine moment. Tommy Elliott says, he's more like Gandhi or possibly even Jesus. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel. He's like a Jesus-like figure. Is Raskin retarded? Oh, shoot. I didn't say that, she did. Does Raskin mean Uncle Tom? Tom Paine was one of the greatest thinkers in history. These guys are comedians. They aren't even that funny. Stop calling him a comedian then. When I made my title for this show, I was being disingenuous on purpose, saying he's the greatest comedian of all time. I was being disingenuous on purpose. I'm with Jesse. Stop calling Jimmy a comedian. He's not a freaking comedian. I know. I totally agree. What made Carson and Leno great was they were never political. Those shows, those late night shows should not be political at all. It should just be like celebrity propaganda crap pushed down our throats. Like we're supposed to pretend like we want to be celebrities and live through them and pretend like they're interesting people and make little silly jokes and stuff. And it should be a way to, I mean, in some ways, like I want this show for you to be fun and entertaining and enjoyed. But I realize I do, because of my beliefs, I am very right-sided politically. So I tend to come off that way, which I don't care. But if I ever had like a late night television show, I'd be happy just like making stupid jokes about absolute nothing in order for people to enjoy their lives. I mean, that seems like the easiest job in the whole world. Just find cultural stuff, talk about cultural stuff, and make stupid cultural jokes. That'd be so easy. They hit it from both sides. Funniest thing Kimmel ever did was the parody of Karl Malone on The Man Show. That is 100% true. That is 100% true. You know who also agrees with that? It's me. Oh, crap. I moved him over. Me. Karl Malone do the things that Karl Malone wanted to do. It's the funniest thing Jimmy Kimmel ever did. Blackface, Carl Malone, that's the best. Whoa, my accent went all over the place just now. Carl Malone need to do the best of things I ever seen in my life. Carl Malone do the things. Okay, here is MSNBC reacting to Tucker Carlson being fired and then reacting to Jimmy Kimmel being fired. I love this guy. What is his name? Chris Koch, I think his name is. Chris Hayes. Why did Chris Koch hear my chat? Everyone put in the chat. Chris Koch works for MSNBC. It's just a fact. Okay, here's Chris Hayes.
ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the...
What is this? Wait, what is this shot? Oops, who said the joke? Okay.
ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air indefinitely. And this is just the latest chapter in Donald Trump's ongoing campaign to crack down on free speech, dominate the media, and essentially render the First Amendment meaningless. So it was for the journeyman cable news host Tucker Carlson, just fired from his third network. He believed he could say anything, no matter how vile, no matter how disgusting, no matter how offensive, no matter how dehumanizing or belittling. And if you act like a sociopath over and over and over and over, you will become unpopular on the national stage.
Oh,
that's just like a basic principle. Over time,
God, it's like, do you ever listen to these people? Are like, do you guys even listen to yourself? Do you even listen to yourself? Do you even listen to yourself? So Jimmy Kimmel is because of Trump. It's not because of what you said, saying horrible things on national television. Tucker Carlson wasn't even on a broadcasting channel, and he got fired over these sorts of things. Also, can we just do like a documentary of like the slow progression of libtardation being taken effect? As a libtard, you start out with smaller glasses, thick rim, smaller glasses, and as time progresses, as you become more deranged and psychotic in your thinking, they actually become bigger glasses with thicker rims. This is the grandpa look. Good job. The grandpa look. I feel like this is like the craziest thing ever. You have to commit to a joke and go through the joke. Oh, always, man. Both Carson and Leno would seem very conservative today. Oh, dude, they would. If Leno and Carson would literally... Leno said something about Charlie Kirk just a couple of days ago. I forget the quote, but he said something about how like political violence is bad or something and not something to be celebrated by your speech or something like that. And leftists were ripping through Leno and telling Leno to shut up. So Leno would be seen as a fascist in today's world. The Tubin face. Yeah, it's the same face. Chris Hayes' mannerisms really get under my skin like Maddo. Yeah, they're basically the same thing. I got to get those man frames, dude. You do, Code H2O. Get some of those man frames. I have the Malcolm X man frames. Okay, because I'm a modern day Malcolm X. Because I'm ginger and I'm basically black. I feel like I need to hear this again. This like the hypocrisy is just too much.
ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air indefinitely. And this is just the latest chapter in Donald Trump's ongoing campaign to crack down on free speech, dominate the media, and essentially render the First Amendment meaningless. So it was for the journeyman cable news host Tucker Carlson, just fired from his third network. He believed he could say anything, no matter how vile, no matter how disgusting, no matter how offensive, no matter how dehumanizing or belittling. And if you act like a sociopath over and over and over and over, you will become unpopular on the national stage.
So weird.
That's just like a basic principle. Over time, probably not going to work out well for you in the long run. Eventually, people will be rightly offended, disgusted by it. ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air indefinitely.
God, it's like unreal. It's unreal with these people. I'm Step Black, thank you. Yeah, I'm Step Black. My friends are so thin you can't see them from far right. I'm Step Black. I love the hypocrisy. It is a bit of a delicious sandwich, isn't it, Jessica? It's a bit of a delicious little sandwich. It's just, again, I think like, what's up, Richard? I think if you were to show Chris Hayes this clip, he would literally find a way to argue out of it, or things changed, or just watching somebody like him do like a dance, pretending like he didn't say this exact thing would be absolutely insane to watch. I would love, like, if I was invited on Chris Hayes' show, I could literally, instead of putting up the video of me, I would just do a video of him doing this and to say, Chris Hayes, your reaction? Your reaction? Many of Carson's generations all served in World War II. Totally different sense of humor. A little darker sense of humor, if you do say so myself. If you went through World War II, you better have a dark sense of humor to get through that kind of war. I like this. I like this left hard take. One thing I really hate about Trump era is how much you kind of have to get upset about the stupidest crap. Like he goes on to say, like, F, this is a gross assault on free speech and art in this country, but also it's Jimmy Kimmel. You're making me defend Jimmy effing Kimmel. It's so undignified. With this as your profile pic, where a white guy does blackface. It's not an assault on freedom of speech. God, if I have to say that one more time, I'm literally gonna lose my crap, dude. I'm literally gonna lose my freaking crap. It's not an assault on freedom of speech. He's not in prison. Jimmy Kimmel is not in prison. He's just fine. Again, the source is about Kimmel. When asked, the source said that Kimmel was not planning on apologizing, and he felt that what he said did not require an apology. A source tells Hollywood Reporter Kimmel was prepared to address the backlash on Wednesday night's show. He planned to explain what he said and demonstrate how it was taken out of context. When asked, the source said he was not planning on apologizing, so he just refuses to apologize. Again, this is what he said. We hit some new lows over the weekend when the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points. Nobody wants to hear that crap, dude. I just like, and if you're a leftist and you think that people actually want to hear that, that doesn't deserve to be said on freaking broadcasting stations. This is on ABC. This isn't Comedy Central or HBO. I feel like I have to say that a million times. God, you have to when you ever argue with these leftists, you have to say like the simplest things over and over again before, like if you say it once, they don't hear you because they don't listen. You say it again, they might hear you. You say it 3 times, they're like, okay, I heard you. And you're like, okay, but I'm going to say it over and over again because you're not hearing what I'm actually saying. It was ABC. It was a broadcasting network that's under the FCC. Also, Disney fired him because they thought what he said was insensitive and a horrible thing to say in a very disgusting time where somebody was publicly assassinated that everyone saw online and received some kind of secondhand PTSD from watching that disgusting video. This was a horrible time. Political violence isn't a good thing, and you're saying that MAGA is killing themselves to score political points. This is not something we as Disney want as part of our channel, and then you refuse to even apologize for it. Therefore, we're going to put you on leave and take you away for maybe a week or so, and then you might be back, or you might be gone forever. Also, your ratings are terrible. They're worse than Stephen Colbert, and Stephen Colbert was fired because his ratings were so low, because he wouldn't shut up about Donald Trump, and people get tired of hearing the same Donald Trump joke over and over again. It's boring. It's not funny. It's like saying the chicken crossed the road joke 1,000 times. No, at the first time, second time, the third time, and no more jokes. It's not funny anymore. People are tired of it. So they're like, how do we get rid of these expensive programs? Oh, I don't know. Wait for them to say something horrible, then we can just cut them off. And then also, if you're ABC or Disney, you're excited that these leftards are blaming Donald Trump and not your own organization. As if these leftists are going to actually protest against Disney. That'll never happen. These leftists they're Disney children. You know, they love going to Disney and doing the fast pass and showing their overweight videos of them barely being able to fit in these rides. So like, just spare me. This isn't the same thing. This isn't a freedom of speech thing. He's not going to jail. He's not going to a concentration camp. He can literally start a podcast. He can learn to code. He'll be just fine. Shut up with your, spare me your crying fake tears that we should be shaken to the core with. If Jimmy Kimmel went to jail tonight over this, maybe you have an argument. I don't think you can apologize for this. I don't think so either. A big problem in the U.S. is leftists believe they are the mainstream culture. Dude, Disco, I'm freaking telling you, dude. I'm freaking telling you. That is such a dumb talking point. We're the majority. We're the super majority. We're the majority. This is what the majority believes. And then the last election didn't prove that. And now they're like still in their own denial. Like the majority of people actually think political violence is bad. Okay? That's what the majority of people think, because majority of people don't want to see crap like what happened last week ever again. It's not a good thing for society. LOL, Derek. Thanks, Gaston. Listening to the hate spewing gets tiresome and boring. It really does. So much food at Disney. It truly is. Oh, are you laughing about the fat people riding the rides? Haven't you seen those videos? Okay, I'm going to pull up one of those videos. Let's see. And those videos give me so much... like people trying to like talk about like being too big to get on the rides at Disney because they're too overweight. They're like so funny to me. Okay, wait, here's one. Disney will be mad if these people protest their parks. No, these people, Disney will be so excited to get rid of these types of people in their parks. They're just like, this Disney is created for children, not for you guys. Not for you guys. Okay, here's another one. I don't know why these like give me so much life, but they're so funny to me.
At Disney. Okay, so first place I went to is Cafe Days. In a day is
What I eat in a day as a 26-year-old at Disney?
In a day is a 26-year-old at Disney. Okay, so first place I went to is Cafe Daisy. I got this watermelon lemonade. Look at how gorgeous. It was so good, way better than I expected. Then I got the Daisy Dog. I'd have to rate this as 7 out of 10. It was nothing special, but it was good. It also came with some chips, which were okay. Oh my gosh, the best part was I got the cheesy pizza flop over. When they say cheesy, it was so cheesy. My cousin gave me a taste of his orange drink, and it was so good. Later on, I got thirsty again, so I got this raspberry lemonade. I give this a 9 out of 10. Then we headed over to Tiana's Palace, and I had the house bengay. Sadly, I would give this a 5 out of 10 because it had like no flavor. Okay, now for the best part, I got the house gombo. It was actually so good. Rice was to die for. Shared a few bites of that with Alex, and then I also got myself a kids meal. I got the ham and cheese thing. It was actually a lot better than I expected. I give this an 8 out of 10. Also came with an apple juice and an orange. Next, I headed to Harbor Galley, and I got these cookies. These are so worth it, you guys. So worth it. If you get anything, get these cookies. Cousin didn't want his applesauce, so I had another applesauce. I don't know why, but these actually really hit today. I drink so much water today. We gotta stay hydrated. It was a lot of water. For dinner, I went to the Golden Horseshoe, and I got some chicken tenders and some fries. I had ranch and barbecue, which was so amazing. Literally everything was so amazing. Okay, at the same place, I also had to try the funnel cake. I would give this a 6 out of 10. I've definitely had better funnel cakes, but it was definitely worth a try. Lastly, I went to the Tiki Juice Bar, and I had a strawberry Dole. 8 out of 10, so good. Thanks for coming along, y'all. Bye.
That's so much freaking food. It's like so much food, dude. How do you eat that much, man? I'm overweight because of white supremacy or something. Oh gosh, it's so funny to me. Okay. I don't know what it is about big people in Disney, but they just like go. They're like two peas in a pod, dude. Okay, here's another one, and they post it on TikTok. Like we're not supposed to like enjoy these videos.
Enchanted Wish at Disneyland, but you weren't sure.
Okay.
You've been dying to ride Snow White's Enchanted Wish at Disneyland, but you weren't sure if you'd fit. Hey everyone, we're plus-size park hoppers, rearranged in sizes from 2X to 5X. Make sure you like this video and follow us for more plus-size Disney tips and tricks. Make sure you watch this video to the end for a helpful tip on the turnstiles at Disneyland. Snow White's Enchanted Wish is a slow-moving dark ride taking you through the story of Snow White. This ride has such a classic feel and really captures the essence of Disney. One thing to note about the queue for this ride is that it's very narrow, which means that it's not wheelchair accessible, unfortunately. But we'll go into more detail on that later. There is a very tight turnstile to get into this ride, but later on in the video, we'll show you how to avoid it. The ride vehicle is a minecart with 2 rows of bench seating. The safety mechanism for this ride is a lap bar, and none of us had any problems with this. It did not need to get to a certain position to lock. There is a step up to get into the vehicle, and the opening is quite narrow. If you're plus size, we highly recommend sitting in your own row. We tried riding 2 in a row and regretted it immediately. If you are traveling in a wheelchair or have trouble getting into narrow spaces, there is an accessible vehicle. The side opens on the accessible vehicle, which makes getting in or transferring easier. If you are in a wheelchair or...
Dude, the voice is faster than they've ever run in their life. And then this
If you have a
happens.
difficult time getting through narrow turnstiles, there is a solution. All you have to do is go to the exit and speak to the cast member. They will then scan your ticket and give you a return time. So instead of standing in line, you're basically waiting in a virtual queue. When it's time for you to return to the ride, you will get a notification on your phone. Then just go back to the exit of the ride and you'll be able to enter there. We thought this ride was super cute and made you feel like you were really in the
Okay, that's enough, dude. It's just too much, man. It's freaking too much. Disney Plus was named after this. Code H2O. That was the best. That was the best. That was hilarious. If the ride stalled at the top, I would be pissed. Dude, can you imagine? Put him in the back. Sing Oompa Loompa. That would be so messed up. I used to weigh 280, now weigh 168. No excuses. Disco, that is no joke, dude. Dude, at one point in my life, I was at 255. And I've dropped down a significantly amount. Losing weight is one of the hardest things you'll ever do if you get that big. It's not easy. You realize how addicted emotionally you are to food, not just like, it's like an emotional addiction. And so making videos like this just like makes me depressed. Like saying that you're a plus size, it's like, no, you have a problem. That's like an alcoholic making a video and is like, I'm struggling with alcoholism, and here's how I cope through life while struggling with alcoholism. It's like, no one would think that's a good idea for a video, but then we do it for this? It makes absolutely zero sense. Have we canceled all the leftards yet? No, we're on our way. We're going hard. Cancel all of them. Every single one of them. All right, guys, I'm going to go eat some lunch, and I'm going to go work out after watching these videos. I myself are going to work out after watching these freaking videos, dude. After seeing these videos of these women walking around, I gotta go work out. I gotta go get my workout on. Hey, also, by the way, if you guys are bored ever and you're not a part of our Telegram group, be a part of our Telegram group. I've been commenting way more on the Telegram group and talking on the Telegram group. So come hang out with us on Telegram sometime. It's a good time. Would love to see you guys there. And I don't know where my Telegram upload is. Anyways, look for it. God. Where is my Telegram group? Upload. Poop. I don't know where it is. I'll post it somewhere. Funny show, Derek. Hey, thanks so much. Bravo. I've caught myself emotional eating this past week, and I had to correct it. Oh. Jessica, same. It's not easy to... you notice it immediately, though, when you start emotionally eating. I tend to emotionally eat when I'm happiest. That's when I emotionally eat the most. Like when I'm feeling good about life, Christmas, something exciting happens, and when I get excited, I immediately connect that with eating. And so I have to which sucks. I have to constantly check myself on that. Let's all not eat. yeah, don't eat. Great show today. Hey, thanks so much. Thank you guys so much for the super chats as well. I really appreciate you supporting this show. Enjoy the hard work I put on this, and hope you have a good time on this show. I don't know. I said we put a good show together. I'm doing this all by myself. Me, myself, and I, we all did this together. We all worked really hard on this. My cat is emotionally eating. I gotta correct her. What do you do? What do you do to that kitty? All right, guys. I eat without thinking sometimes. That's probably the best way to be honest. Don't connect your emotions to the food you consume. Just see it as fuel. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. I appreciate you guys. Drop a like on this video if you haven't done so. And if you don't mind, after I pause the show or stop the show, putting a comment below underneath, saying something what you think about the show, saying something about how you feel about Jimmy Kimmel being fired, helps help the algorithms out. And it just, and I try to respond to those comments too, so I see them. So you don't have to put some stupid on there. You can put some thought.